What's up, everybody? It's Grim.
And Dollcat.
And,
Oh, I forgot my sunglasses.
Can you not? And, yesterday, I shared a story with you guys right here on the vlogs, and I was very unwilling to want to share it, and she really kind of said, you gotta share this.
Blame it on me. I think people enjoyed your story.
I think you guys did too. Judging from the comments and the feedback from the video yesterday, it seemed that you guys did enjoy the story, and even more crazy is that a lot of you have experienced a lot of the same things.
It happens. I hear a lot of people,
and
they're scared to talk about it, but
right,
the same experience.
The reason I was scared to talk about it was I thought everybody would be like, Grim's full of shit, no way that happened. That's why we never made videos about it, never talked about it in the past, because that's what I thought. And so you guys made me feel accepted. I don't feel so alone in this crazy world of the paranormal. So that sort of encourages me today to want to share about my childhood, the house I grew up in. The basement of that house was extremely haunted, but we don't know who the ghost was, as in like yesterday I was telling you, it was clearly my friend Tony.
I told him he should do a report to find out who lived in the house.
Yeah.
Before.
But the other thing is the ghost was nice.
It was like Casper. I'm sorry. He told me these stories before. I've heard them 100 times, so. I'm
going to tell you guys. And I want you guys to kind of, tell me what you guys think.
Or if you live in a haunted house, because I also grew up in one. I think it's weird that we both did, but I think, if you grew up in one, you know, more about it. And
yeah, and it seems it's very, very common.
It's
a lot more common than you think, and nobody talks about it because then, like you said, oh, well, this happened and that happened, and people think, ooh, yeah, right. Ugh. But, all right, so it all started when I was about 11 or 12 years old. My mom used to babysit. She was a stay-at-home mom. She used to babysit my cousins and these other two kids from the neighborhood, right? So it was me, my brother, my sister, my cousins Amanda and Jeffrey, and the other two kids were Joey and Denise. And
if they're watching, comment, because they probably have their own version of what happened. When you're a kid and
right. Yeah, if Joey and Denise or my cousins are watching, let me know in the comments below. I know my cousins watch. Anyway, we were playing in the basement, and there was a stuffed animal that was just randomly laying on the ground. It was my brother's. It was a stuffed monkey, and it was just a stuffed animal monkey. And I'm going to put a picture here so you guys can kind of know what I'm talking about.
Google to see if you could find maybe that monkey, stuffed animal monkeys, what you could find.
It had black, beady, glassy type eyes, right? So we're all playing in the basement, whatever, having a good time. And all of a sudden, that girl, Denise, shrieks in terror, right? Mm-hmm. She starts screaming. And we're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What happened? Are you hurt? What happened? And she goes, the monkey, his eyes glowed red. And we were like, shut up.
Whose monkey was it?
It was my brother's. Oh. And we thought she was full of shit, They're like, shut up, what are you talking about, whatever. She's like, no, its eyes, they were black, and then they flashed red. Oh. And she said, not like red, like laser beam red or anything, just like a glaze of red went over them. Right? So we're looking at it, we're like, it looks fine, whatever, And as we're looking at it, all talking about it, looks like it's full of shit, it happened again. And we all freaked. Oh, we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And my cousin Jeffrey was the oldest. And he was like, ah! And he grabbed it and he hucked it like that to throw it across the basement. And when he hucked it in midair, it stopped and came back at us and just landed on the floor.
So the ghost caught it.
I don't know, or the ghost was in it. We think the ghost was in it.
That's what you think?
Yeah. And it fell on the floor. And then we all screamed and we all ran upstairs and we were all telling my mom about what happened. And my mom says, stop pranking your friends. Go back downstairs and play. That's what my mom said. She thought we were all full of shit. So begrudgingly, we all had to go back downstairs and play.
I wouldn't go back in that basement.
What were we supposed to do? My mother was mad at us.
Can't you go outside?
We were just kids.
I would have went outside.
I think it was raining or something. That's why we didn't go outside. So we went back downstairs to play. And my cousin Jeffrey, who was the oldest.
Don't tell the kids this story, by the way.
No. And keep in mind, back when I was kids in the dinosaur ages, we didn't have Google. We couldn't just pull out our smartphone and look up demon monkey.
But you said it was nice.
We didn't get to that part.
All right. You did earlier. You said it was a friendly ghost, so.
I didn't get that part.
Okay, just keep going.
So, did it do anything bad to us? No. It had red eyes, and it flew back at us when we
Red
threw it.
eyes is like a sign of evil.
Demon!
That's scary.
So my cousin says we need to perform an exorcism. I'm assuming he saw this in a movie. And I said, well, how the hell do we do that? He said, you got to get a bunch of crosses, and we'll put the crosses by the monkey, and then that will exorcise the demon out of the monkey.
Is this the same cousin that's a preacher now?
Yes. See? He's
Maybe
a preacher.
that, like, encouraged him.
He's a preacher in North Carolina. Anyway, so we set the monkey. We made a bunch of crosses out of Legos, and we set the monkey on the desk. And now keep in mind, at this point, it hasn't glowed red in a while now. It's just was laying on the floor. We sat it on the desk.
I wouldn't have touched it. Get
Put
it
a
like
bunch.
a broom.
Put a bunch of crosses around it that we made out of Legos.
That was good. I would have done the
And we
same.
looked at it. And look at it. Now what do we do? Right? And one of the Lego crosses went like this. And we fucking screamed. And we ran into the other room.
It wiggled.
It wiggled. One of them went like that. And when it started to wiggle, we all screamed and ran into the other room. And we were peeking in the other room like this. And we're looking. And I'll never forget this. Because the room that was in the basement was at the back end of the basement. And to get out of the basement was the complete other side of the basement.
So you dug yourself deeper in the basement. Brilliant.
So we're all looking. We're in the room and we're looking out the door. And we're looking at the crosses. Are they moving? Are they moving? I don't see anything moving. This is crazy. All of a sudden the crosses, they just went everywhere.
Gosh.
They flew everywhere. And we all screamed. And that poor little girl, Denise, she ran. I never seen a person more scared in my life. Instant tears, instant beet red, instant screaming.
Well, that's
and she
scary.
went running all the way across the basement and up the stairs. And we
all
all
of you?
Yeah. But she fast as hell. I never seen a person move that fast, that scared. And we all ran upstairs and we all told my mom, Mom, the monkey is possessed and it knocked all the crosses down and we're so scared and please, we don't want to go back to the basement. And she says, get back in the basement. I said, we are not. And at this point, we all protested. She says, well then, if you're not going to play in the basement, you're going to sit in the living room with your hands crossed until everybody's parents come. And that's exactly what we did.
That's so sad.
Because we were all so terrified of going back down into that basement.
Did she go in to check it out?
No. She thought we were screwing around, that we were making pranks. And then sure enough, the parents came and picked up the two kids that we babysat. And then they had called later on that day, the parents, told my mom that we were pranking them. And then my mom lost her babysitting job.
Wait, they told your mom that you were pranking the kids?
Because the kids went home and said, Mom, there's a ghost in the basement. And the red eyes and Legos. And of course the parents, because these kids were littler than us, blamed me and my cousin Jeffrey for pranking these kids. And it wasn't a prank, it was real, man. And my mom was pissed off at me and my brother and my cousin Jeffrey for pranking the kids. My little sister and Amanda and my brother, because they were all much younger. They were mad at us older boys for pranking. And it wasn't us, it was real. It was a damn ghost. So
I believe you.
So after that, we wouldn't go in the basement for years. I would say 2 years went by and we would not go in the basement for anything. My mom didn't babysit anymore. My cousins didn't want to come over.
Oh my gosh.
Those two kids didn't want to ever come back to my house. So my mom had no babysitting job. So my mom wound up going to get a job. She needed a real job at this point. And me, my brother, and my sister, we just played in the regular house rather than downstairs because scared of the ghost.
I wouldn't go in that basement.
No.
Now, did things happen elsewhere in the house?
No, nothing weird ever else happened in the house. Now,
maybe it was like trapped in the basement. Like, why does that happen? Like, sometimes people in a certain room.
I don't know. Like, do you guys, let me know in the comments below. Like, do you guys think that, like, ghosts are contained to a certain room of a house or a basement?
Because my house, it was all over the place. It wasn't
Closer to
just
hell?
the basement.
And
that
do
I grew up in.
you guys think that, like, these ghosts have, like, these powers? Like,
how can a ghost, like, okay, so you're on the other side. How can you turn a stuffed animal's eyes red?
right.
Like,
Or how could you, if a monkey is thrown across a room, change its direction?
or is that different? Was that not a ghost? Was it a demon?
Or knock all the crosses over?
Yeah, I don't think, like...
I don't know. I want to know your guys' experiences because that was probably one of the most scariest things that's ever happened to me in my life.
What if it was, like...
I don't know, because I don't think it was a demon. Because, like I said, then as I got older and I got more brave, and I thought, well, maybe we were all just seeing things and nothing else weird has ever happened. I ventured back down into the basement. And that was when I was really getting heavy into collecting, and I needed a place to display my stuff.
So he'd rather, instead of not collect, go into a ghostly basement.
I had a room, that back room I was telling you about.
Deep in the basement.
Right,
Smart.
deep in the basement. But that's where I was able to put my toys. And the weirdest things, I had that room, and I had it closed, and I had it locked, so nobody would mess with my toys. And I'd go walking in, and I swear to God, like, it was this one here, right? And I had this one stand on the shelf, and I'd walk in, and he'd be completely backwards. And I'd say, who did that? Nobody can get in here. It's locked, and I have a key. Nobody can get in this room to take this toy and turn it completely around backwards. But nothing bad ever happened. No toys ever broke. I remember that one. And, this one here. This one. I always had... Yeah, these are my originals. This is actually them. This one here always had his mouth open like this. He was always like that. Ah! Because motherfucker was like, ah! Walked in one time. His mouth was closed. You've seen the force it took for me to close his mouth.
It doesn't just...
It does, right. It's not like, the wind closed it, or, the weight. No. And it was like, was that a ghost? How did its mouth get closed? It wasn't my brother or my sister messing with me. They didn't have a key to the room in our basement. When my dad had left, my mom got a new husband. He would not, once we told him about these stories, this motherfucker would not go in that basement. If it was going to save his life, he wouldn't go down there. He said he'd go like this. Looks spooky just looking down there. And it was a spooky looking basement, but he wouldn't go in that basement for anything once we told him these stories. And we still have that monkey somewhere.
Do you?
But it never glowed red after that day.
And he doesn't have access to that house anymore, so we can't go investigate.
We can't go back to that house.
But my mom's house, we can go, but I don't want to. Like, we only go there during the day, and I don't go in the basement.
She's scared because she's had similar experiences when you were young. And if you guys let us know, if you guys want us to continue talking about this stuff, let us know. And she can share her stories. And I'll tell you more about the basement.
I want to hear everybody else's stories, so we're not the only ones. We're
not the only ones who have haunting stories.
But this house, I don't believe is haunted. We lived here for 10, almost 11 years.
It's just Tony. Tony chilling.
We had 2 different experiences. That one, and then I had a different experience. But out of 10 years, 2 weird experiences.
Right. And the Tony stuff happened in our apartment, too.
Yeah. So I think that was more of a visitation,
than
not like a haunting.
And speaking of visitations, a lot of people asked yesterday, well, have you had any visitations or hauntings from Super Pop or Supergram? Not one sign.
We wish.
Not one sign from either one of them.
Right after Supergram died, his mom still lives in the house, and when we went over there to visit,
we could have swore we heard her.
We opened the front door where everybody was sitting, and she had a very distinct voice, an old
hi.
And as soon as we opened the door, we both heard her say, "Hey," the way she always does. We both heard it.
That could have been just mental, though.
I don't think so, because
we're so used to hearing her say, "Hey," when you come walking in.
No, because we both.
I swear
if it was just one of us, okay, maybe, I thought I was hearing things, but then when we got home and we're alone, I said, you're gonna think I'm crazy.
Yeah, she said it, and I was like, yes, I heard, oh my God, I thought I was nuts.
Yeah, so, if it was one, I would think I was hearing things, but...
But no, visitation or signs other than that. And that was from Supergram, and that was, the next day after she died, right? The next day or two?
It was very close.
And nothing from Super Pop ever.
No, but his brother had an experience.
Yeah. And that was
from Super Pop.
From Super Pop, that he was going to get his license and
job interview or something.
Yeah, job interview or something, and he was praying to Pop. Pop, could you give me good luck? And there was an application on the desk at his job, and the guy that was before him signed on the application was the same name as Super Pop.
First and last
name, and the signature even looked the same. He took a picture of it. And we compared it to Pop's signature on his license. It was identical. It was like Super Pop signed that piece of paper that was on that desk right before my brother's application.
Probably let him know he was there for him.
Wild.
I'm rooting for him. But he didn't get that job.
Right. Guys, thank you for watching. And like I said, please
I
share
want
your
to read
stories.
everybody's stories. So if you have anything that's
Let us
real,
know in the
please.
comments below. And thank you for watching. Please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe for more, share with your friends. If you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Eat it, yeah.
No monkeys in this house.